I'm older than you were at my age. You were planting rosy bouquets in a 17-year trip down the aisle. When I was born, your thorns split me from navel to nose tip. There was thistle in your touch and horror in your heartbeat. There are forget-me-nots in the bruises I got, tripping over my textbooks to get to your approval. I learned triumph in the nettles you kept on my tongue. I was a tulip from my mother to my father, who never loved me enough for me to miss him, so our calla-colored skin never meant as much as the dirt in our backyard. I guess I'm not really the flowering type. I've heard pine cones need fire to open, but when you called me a spark and threw ashes at me, I didn't set seeds in your ruin. There's more dandelion in me than tree. I'm too wild to be kept rooted and too common to be kept in vases. I'm invasive. My mother made sure I knew the bellflowers in our windowsill weren't thinking of me. They bowed like me, turned my knees black like dahlias, and my curses soft like baby's breath, I was the death of you. 22 and younger than me. When you discovered I was perennial, you lost interest in me. You enjoyed motherhood, but not mothering. You gave me the scent of cypress and fennel. Death and remembrance remembered me. I've been winding pansies in my memory to remind me to think of you. In the winter, do you rewind into the earth and remember the time I asked you if I would still be your daughter once I got married? Do you regret not teaching me to weave crabgrass into crowns, because wherever we went, nothing of consequence could grow? I was nothing of consequence, so you let me sprout wherever I chose. The thing is, you couldn't tell weeds from my English ivy, so send me back to the hillside where I would rather be growing anyways, and on rainy days I will recall the way you should have watered me. I never meant to be 17 and bitter, but my throat has been coated with rue since you looked me in the bud and told me you couldn't waste water on something that wasn't blooming, but it turns out when I can stand in a rainstorm, I flower. I promise not to resent the rot in your roots where your love was supposed to be. Make me a wreath of pink carnations and crown me your daughter. Call me your heir. Remind me that you remember when my leaves were the smallest thing you had ever seen, and the pale in my petals seemed infinitely delicate. Understand that I am not withering. I am aching. These are my last growing pains before I touch the sun. I am reaching for your sons and daughter. Growing loose from my roots has reminded me that I am a sister. I am a seedling, and I am asking you to forgive me for not forgiving you. I am finally seeing you. You're ivy, but you're not poison anymore. I've built up an immunity, so look at me. And send me a bottle of Miracle-Gro to swallow in June when I am thinking of you and the flowers in the windowsill when you first ever planted me, Stephanie. Mother, Mommy, remember me. Thank you.